Hi, this is Brian Wormers. I'm going to be the faculty teaching NUR305. This is Cultural, Spiritual, and Ethical Dimensions of Holistic Care for the summer of 2023. This should be a fun class. I hope that you enjoy it. This will help you understand some things about yourself and hopefully expand your presence of understanding these concepts and how that can help you in your nursing career. So as a quick overview, this is the main entry to this. So you're going to see the roadmap here. So course meeting, this is asynchronous. This is an online course. You do not need to show up for any specific class schedule or meetings, as there's no physical classroom and no set time that we're going to meet. Announcements, news and announcements will be one way. Email is another way. So make sure that you're checking your email. Finding course resources. This should be similar to previous courses that you've taken, but I'll run through that, and especially under the course resources tab, there's lots of goodies for you. And then of course your course assignments will be underneath coursework. Course grades are underneath gradebook. This is an online course, so that being said, I expect that you probably to have a computer and internet access and be able to utilize it. You will have to do some video uploads, you will have to do some uploading of documents, and so make sure that you're comfortable with those. And if you have questions about that, please contact me. This is the way to contact me. This is my email, this is my office number, and this is my cell phone number. Feel free to call, text, email. Office hours over the summer, I don't keep office hours, but I'm happy to meet with you. Just send me an email or a text or a phone call and we can set something up. Other support things would be the Academic Success Center, the MERS Library, or the Registrar, and here are the phone numbers and email addresses for those. On the right hand side, here's the welcome to the course. Hopefully you found that already because you're watching this video. And down below is your syllabus. So the syllabus is something that we're going to run through right now. And so with this course, it runs from May 30th to August 4th. Like I said, this is NUR305, Cultural, Spiritual, and Ethical Dimensions of Holistic Care, taught by me. My contact information, course description, I'll let you read it, but it's talking about your own culture, spiritual, and ethical beliefs and how that's going to apply to others in your nursing profession. And this is a way for self-exploration as well as to understand others. Credit hour policy, it's diverse modality, so it's going to be an online component of this. Learning outcomes for our accreditation are right here. With that, here's our AACN Essentials, if you're really curious about why we're doing what we're doing. Required resources. APA book, which I hope that you already have. Purnell book, this is available at the library for USD library or online. There is no books that you necessarily have to pick up. Online course tools, of course, you need a computer and high-speed internet and a web camera and some of the programs for like Word doc and different things like that. Teaching modalities, so this will be asynchronous, but there's going to be lots of different methodologies throughout this. Some lectures, some review of movies, some experiential learning, so that there's lots of things that you'll do in this course. Evaluation, three main categories: class participation and professionalism. This is where you're having a lot of your assignments. There's learning modules and other assignments that we'll talk about here in a little bit. You will complete the cultural competency nursing care module. So course 1, 2, and 3. This is a nationwide program that provides some cultural competency. At the end of it, print out your CEs. So when it asks if you want nursing credit, do the nursing credit one. Take advantage of it. Put it in your portfolio. You can show future employers that you are, culturally competent per this course, and that you're interested in continuing nursing education. Finally, a bulk of this course will also be the final presentation. You will have this presentation with a handout, and that's a big chunk of it, and we'll talk about that here in a little bit. Plus, you have to do peer constructive feedback. This is not, ooh, I liked it. Something that they can grow on, they can develop from in a constructive manner. Grading, same as always, 90, 80, 70, 60. You do need to get a B- for this course to advance within the nursing program. Compliance with ADA. If you feel that this applies to you, talk to the Learning Accessibility Services here. Responsibilities, you have to do the homework, you have to do it on your own, you do have to be professional in this course. There is lots of sensitive issues within this course, and so I expect that you to be kind and professional with this. You can disagree, but you do not have to be abrasive, passive-aggressive, or bullying by any means, and that will not be tolerated by any means. So, learning module activities. So, you got to make sure you do those and upload those. Do the ones underneath the coursework folder for points. The one underneath the resources folder is just for practice and for review. Online quizzes. You kind of understand those, I bet. Online class etiquette. Be nice, be respectful. Like I said, you can disagree, and then that's fine, and that's encouraged, honestly. But do not, be inflammatory. Do not troll other people. Do not, just be careful with your words, because like I said, when we're talking about cultural, spiritual, and ethical considerations of people, we all have different opinions on that. And so we need to be respectful of that. Comfort pass, I understand that summer is a busy time for you. You get 2 comfort passes, which means that you can delay an assignment for a week. So if you get overwhelmed with something and you just need a little break, just email me, let me know. I don't need to know what it is or why you need an extension, but just tell me, and then it's got to be done before the due date, and then I'll grant you a 1-week extension. So, status of the syllabus. I really try my best to get this up and running. I did see one mistake that I'll highlight here down below that I've changed from the initial one that I sent out to you via email. Policy and procedures, be honest. Watch your copyrights. At the end of this, we will do a program assessment. Let me know what you liked about this class and what I could do better on. So course schedule, it's broken into modules. It's broken into a weekly, week-by-week basis. So video, of course, introduction, which you're watching currently. Then we're going to talk about spirituality for these 2 modules. There's a syllabus quiz on this, so make sure that you follow that. Spiritual Roots Forum. There's going to be lots of forums for this. So initial post is going to be due on 6/3 with 2 replies due on 6/4. There's a quiz here due on 6/4. Spirituality and Nursing module due on 6/4. You're kind of seeing a theme here, right? So I'm trying to make sure that everything is due on Sundays except the initial post for forum posts, which will be due a little bit earlier. Review this, because next week you're going to have to utilize this, and this can take a little bit of time. So 6/5 to 6/11, modules 3 and 4, talking about spiritual needs and ethics. So assignments for you will be, looking at the learning modules for reading and assignments, of course, have some background knowledge on this, and then do the learning module. You'll use this Polchowski tool, and you're going to do a spiritual assessment on somebody. Try to do this on somebody that you don't know, as sometimes it can get a little awkward if you're trying to do it on like mom or dad or something like that. You can do it on a patient, you can do it on a friend that you trust, but just make sure that you can do it with somebody who will be honest with you. And sometimes people that you don't know as well are more open and honest. So, and then you'll have your spiritual assessment quiz right here. You're going to have basics of moral reasoning and learning modules. Module 5 and 6, we're going to start talking about ethics. And so with that, learning module, forum posts, and then watch the movie Concussion. And so you can get this in a variety of ways. YouTube, Amazon Prime, you can check with libraries. You can check with friends to see if they own this movie. And with this, you can either do it individually or in a group up to 4 people. And there's a written assignment that goes along with this one. Talking about transcultural diversity, transcultural nursing. So we're going to talk about that. You're going to start with Purnell and do that reading here with forum posts. And then do sensitivity self-assessment. Be honest with this one. This is good reflective on how you would react to working with different types of people. Create an account for your CC/NCC and then review those standards because you're going to log into this next week. So modules 8 and 9, so got some reading with this one again. Complete this course 1. It will take you a little bit of time, so make sure that you give yourself enough time to complete this. And then there's a cultural quiz over some of the previous readings. Talk about health disparities. And so there's multiple readings here for this just to get an understanding of what that's like. Forum posts, and then complete your course number 2 of CC/NCC. Moving down to the next week, we're talking about global health. And so there's some readings here for you to do. Watch the Extremist documentary on Netflix if you don't have an account. Sign up for a free month or ask a friend or one of those type of options. Watch it, and then there's a forum post with that. And then there's a learning forum post regarding global health. So initial posts are due on 7/13 with replies due on 7/16. Cultural competent care. So once again, some readings, a forum post, a quiz, and then complete that CC/NC course 3. Moving down to the next week, we're going to talk about cultural discussions here, talking about religion, spirituality, death, end of life. And then there's cultural movie and cultural journey. So with that one, here's multiple readings for you, a forum post, quiz. I want you to watch the movie Gran Torino. Once again, you can find it on YouTube, Amazon Prime. Library might have it. So check some of those options. Once again, you can do this in groups of up to 4 or individually. And then a cultural journey, and I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But that cultural journey is going to be due. You got to post a forum on this one. Due 7/27, and replies are due 7/30. And then the big part of your grade is this ethical and cultural presentation is due 8-2. Either you or a group up to 6 students can work on this. And there's guidelines on the LMS folder that we're going to go through here in just a second. And I expect you to have all this, to the guidelines, and then upload it on time. Afterwards, then you need to have at least 2 presentations that you are reviewing and providing constructive feedback. Like I said before, this is not, oh, you did such a good job on this. You can highlight some of the good things and maybe make it that positive sandwich where highlight some good stuff, talk about some stuff that they could have done better on. Was it hard to hear them on their recording? Could have they used more images? Could have they used bigger font? Any of those things that they could have done to improve on this. And then, really try and promote that discussion of the topics. So from here, I want to go over to the course resources, and you're going to see all these things. This should not be too surprising for you that have had previous courses through USF. You got modules, so this is going to be different documents, readings, things like that for you to have a basic understanding on. These are your learning modules. These are the ones that are not graded, so remember that. These are practice, these are going through, these are learning. These will not change your grade. But you're seeing all these different resources for things to read, watch videos to watch, different things like that. Spiritual assessment guidelines, how to use that Polchowski's tool, what that tool is. Talking about different templates that you can utilize. Within this, once again, more documents to read. So, the assignment for concussion, you got your culturally competent care module, so how to sign up for your course, how to take it. It is a free course, it shouldn't cost you anything. And like I said, take the one that gives you the nursing education credit. And then save that, put that in your portfolio, and you can utilize that. like I said, PowerPoints and different things for you to understand some of the concepts on these things. Assigned readings, Gran Torino assignment, so you can look at this to see what you have to do with this video. And then here's some details for your group presentation. I also broke this out a little bit and going into its own category here, and so you can kind of see more details here. So how to make the presentation, how to upload it to YouTube, how to share that with others. I think that you all have a good grip on understanding that. However, if you needed some help with that, these are some tips and tricks to get you by. With the presentation, you know, first you're going to pick on an ethical example, and then you're going to frame that within the lens of a different culture. You can do this independently or group up to 6 students. And so these are some of the topics that you might want, or something else differently entirely. But make sure, you know, that it's do your ethical consideration first, and then do that within the framework of a different culture. Everybody has to have a different topic to present on, and so within the forum, make sure you put this in, make sure you put who's in your group, and make sure you put your title with your ethical and cultural specifics of it. These are the different aspects I want you to talk about. These are your requirements, so 15 to 20 minute presentation. It does need to be creative and innovative, and then you got to have some kind of a tool with this. And then peer evaluations, like I said, constructive criticism on at least 2 other groups. You do have to upload it. Here's your presentation rubric, what I'm looking for. You have to be organized, and you have to have a nice presentation. So that covers that one. If you have questions about this presentation, please let me know. Please ask. Going into the coursework section, like I said before, what you're going to see is quizzes and forum posts and some of the learning modules. So you'll see those time and time again. This is an asynchronous class. All these should be open from the first day. You can jump in, you can start doing some of these. Use your time wisely. If you want to race through it and get through, you can get through in half the time. It's whatever works for you. I'm trying to be very open and free with your time on this one. But forum post modules, quizzes. Here's that Polchowski's tool. So use that FICA tool to explore spirituality. This shouldn't take you a ton of time on this one. But it's a good start just to start the conversation about somebody's spirituality. Basics of moral reasoning. So a learning module, forum post, learning module. You're starting to see a trend with this. This is the movie Concussion. So there's a write-up that goes along with this. Cultural sensitivity write-up. Forum posts. Upload your certificate for your CCNCC course. Quizzes, certificates, forum posts again. So you kind of see that this is following that trend. So cultural journey is one of those that I do want to talk to you about. There's some good descriptions on here, but I want you to go to a business or a restaurant of a different ethnicity that you've never been at before. And this could be, you know, this could be a grocery store. This is not necessarily where you have to buy something per se. It is nice if you walk into the store if you'd buy something, but I understand money's tight. But that being said, go to a restaurant, go to a grocery store, and look at that culture. What do you see? What do you smell? What languages do you hear? I want you to, you know, just try something new and get out of your comfort zone a little bit. You can go with a group of classmates or family members or whatever else. I am completely fine with that. This is going to exclude things that you normally hit. If this is your favorite restaurant, that doesn't count. I want you to branch out and try something new. This also doesn't count like going to McDonald's to be an American culture. No, come on, just push yourself a little bit. We've got so many great restaurants in this town, or even if you're back home, if Sioux Falls isn't your hometown, try something and push your boundaries a little bit. We've got Ethiopian, we've got Guatemalan, we've got Mexican, we've got so many different great foods in this town, and I really want you to explore some of that. So stay away from the chains. No, Olive Garden and Johnny Carino's will not count for an Italian culture. Really push yourself, trying to find some local delicacies, or go into those little shops. Like I said, there's some grocery stores, and whether that's an Asian, whether that is Middle Eastern, whether that is Russian or Ukrainian, go in with an open mind. I was kind of surprised when I do some of these because, for an example, there was a Ukrainian grocery store that I visited one time, and it had a lot of different meds and a lot of different supplements in there that I didn't know what they exactly were. And so if you think about caring for your patients, maybe they're getting these meds, and we should know about them. And do we? So that's your cultural journey. If you have any questions about if this is an acceptable restaurant or store to go to, ask before you go. Moving on, Gran Torino write-up. It's pretty self-explanatory. Watch the movie, do the write-up. You can do it either independently or you can do it in groups per the write-up. And then your presentation. So I think that this kind of explained everything. I think that you have an understanding of this course based on previous courses. The forum posts are here. Comfort Pass, just to explain it, is there. News and announcements, if I make any major postings, will be there, as well as an email. But I think that this should be a good course. One thing that I really want you to, maybe realize is that everybody does have their own culture, spiritual and ethical dimensions. I can't tell you how many times that people walked into this course going, well, I don't have a culture. I'm white. I'm like, well, yeah, but that is your culture. And what holidays do you celebrate? What's your family traditions? Do you go to church? Do you, what are those things that make you you? And so this will be a great course for self-exploration, so you understand yourself, but it's also to help you understand patients and their backgrounds as well. So, well, this concludes this orientation of this course. If you have any questions, make sure you contact me. Thank you. Hope you have a great semester.